Hi, I'm Holliday, and this is Chloroform and Chillz. I'm on my boneless couch, and man, is it hot. I turned off the air so you guys wouldn't hear it, just so I could record this case. Yep. But I am here to tell you that things are changing for me. So I got a new job. All right, round of applause. Okay. And I now work Monday through Friday. So now uploads will be on Mondays. That's why you see me on Monday today. And I'm working on another project that I'm going to bring to you guys, which is a media company that I have been dreaming about starting, and I have started it. And it's called Hot Comb Media. If you know, you know. I'll go into detail about what Hot Comb Media is another day, but I hope that you guys enjoy what I'm working on, okay? That's all I'm going to leave it. I'm very excited to even put it out there. And when it goes live, I'll let you guys know. Listen, if I look hot, it's because I am hot. I just want you guys to know that I'm sweating right now. But I am here with another case this week. It's off of 95. But before we start, let me show you the Lego set of the week. It's the Book of Monsters from Harry Potter. I built this. It actually does open and close. It does have wheels on the bottom for when you wind it back. It moves and it chomps at the same time. So this is our Lego set of the week. Looks pretty cool. Here we go. Oh Lord, this heat. Today we're going to talk about the case of Jayana Webb. If you don't know who Jayana Webb is, she is a young woman that caused an accident that killed 3 people, and 2 of them were state troopers and 1 was a pedestrian on 95. This case is on the 21st of March. Just before 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 state troopers actually pulled over Jayana, and she is being pulled over for speeding. Troopers get out of their car, they go talk to her, but they get an urgent call that somebody is just walking on the highway, and they don't know what it is any more than that. They just get the call that they have somebody walking on the highway. So it's high priority. So the troopers tell Jayana, hey, slow it down, be safe, get home. They drive off to address another issue. But seconds later, Jayana would ram into them with her car, killing all 3 of them instantly. This case was very big in Pennsylvania. It did shock a lot of people with the information that came out. So we're going to discuss the case, and then at the end I'll give my opinion, which is only my opinion, not anybody else's, but I love having discussions in the comments, respectable conversations in the comments, nothing rude, nothing racist, nothing crazy. Let's start at the beginning. Who is Jayana Webb? Jayana is a young lady who grew up in Montgomery County. She was 21 years old at the time of the crash. Honestly, there wasn't really a lot about her upbringing that I could really find about her childhood in any documents or web searches or anything. I really couldn't tell anything, but I know just like her, you and I, she probably had big dreams of being, I don't know, something. But I know she didn't have dreams of being a murderer. Even though Jayana caused this tragic accident, there's no criminal background on her, no DUIs, nothing crazy. But there is some information that we find out later on that she did post on social media that was a little odd. Before we go into that information, let's talk about the individuals who tragically lost their lives on 95 that night. First, we're going to talk about Trooper Martin F. Mack III. Martin F. Mack III was only 33 years old when he was killed. He joined the Pennsylvania State Troopers in November 2014, and he served the public for 8 years. Martin F. Mack III was assigned to the Philadelphia barracks since 2015. Friends and colleagues describe him as being dependable, dedicated, selfless, and deeply committed to the public. But more importantly, he was a husband and a father. His wife is Stephanie Mack. Mack would leave behind his wife Stephanie and 2 children. The next state trooper that was killed was Brandon T. Siska. Brandon T. Siska was only 29 years old. He recently joined the Pennsylvania State Troopers in 2021 in February. Brandon, before becoming a state trooper in Pennsylvania, he actually was a volunteer fire chief. Friends and family describe Brendan as somebody that always just wanted to help out. And he actually left behind a wife named Brittany. And when he died, she was pregnant. The third person, a motorist that was actually stuck on the highway and walking to get help, his name was Ray Riveras Oliveras. Ray was 28 years old. and from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Unlike the troopers, there wasn't that much information on Ray, but on that night on I-95, for some odd reason that's very unclear, Ray's was walking on I-95 near the sports complexes in Philadelphia. I believe his car broke down and he was walking to the nearest exit to probably get some help. Trooper Mac and Trooper Siska heard the call and they decided to go help Ray's get off of the highway and escort him to safety. But before they could help Ray's, let's back up a little bit because a traffic stop actually happened before they were called to help him. The traffic stop that I'm talking about is Janae's traffic stop. So before they went to go help Ray, because he was a more high priority person, well, the high priority call, they stopped Janae less than maybe a couple minutes before. Janae was driving on I-95. She was speeding and she was pulled over by both troopers. Once they were talking to her, asking her why was she speeding, they didn't know at the time, but Janae was drunk. And I'm pretty sure they just didn't know because once they started to get into those line of questioning, they got a call, a high priority call that Ray, the motorist that broke down, was walking on I-95. And now that is more dangerous than pulling somebody over for speeding, because I will say, as being a truck driver, I have seen people walk on the highway many of times, and if you haven't seen the videos, it's very easy to hit something, especially when they're on the shoulder. Personally, for me, from seeing cars, I see cars drift all the time. I'm pretty sure that people see trucks like I do drift all the time as well. Ray's could have been hurt, so they gave Janae a warning and told her slow it down. Both of them getting into their patrol cars, they drive to go help Ray. They stop by Ray, they talk to him a little bit, and as they're talking to him a little bit, there's a car coming up and it's speeding. This car is driven by Janae. Janae ends up slamming into all three men, scattering their bodies across the highway, taking off the doors of a patrol car, causing the airbags to deploy, and mayhem is breaking loose. Soon there are multiple 911 calls to the Philadelphia Police Department that there's been a terrible accident. 2 state troopers are down and 1 motorist. In the help that arrives, they do CPR on both state troopers, but it's just too late. Even at the scene when EMS arrives, they realize that Ray's is deceased on arrival and both state troopers are fighting for their lives, but they end up dying of their injuries. At the scene, Janae is there. She is taken into custody and charged with 3 counts of vehicular homicide. But first, they investigate what actually went wrong here. From further investigation and doing a blood alcohol test, they realized that Janae was drunk. Her blood alcohol level was twice over the legal limit. During investigation, it is released that Janae actually did admit to officers and investigators that she had been drinking. Her drink of choice that day was strawberry Hennessy. Hearing that she was drinking before getting into her car to drive, this made investigators and prosecutors lead to that her drinking before driving means that this was malice. She knew the risk of drinking and driving. She knows she shouldn't have did it. Now 3 people are dead because of her actions. Actually, some information started to come out about Janae from her social media posts, and I'm going to read them to you. One of her posts says, "If you ask me, I'm the best drunk driver ever." Another one, "Why the cop pull me over and say I'm doing 110 and a 50? I'm going to let those 2 posts that she posted on social media sit with you for a little bit because, girl, why are you recording your crimes online? Because now look where you at. You've killed 3 people because you've been drinking and driving. So this just shows that this isn't your first time doing it. And right now, though, it's your last. These posts were actually released to the public. They made people angry because it shows that she's overconfident while she's drinking. And also it shows that she's okay with being reckless. She's okay with doing something as dangerous as drinking and driving. And this really caused people's opinions of her to sour more. Like they were already bad, but it became worse. So these are Janae Webb's charges. 3 counts of 3rd-degree murder, 3 counts of homicide by vehicle while having a DUI charges, and a slew of other charges as well. The big question everybody really had was on the murder charges, because being charged with 3 third-degree murder charges, they had to prove that it was done in malice. Janae's attorneys argued that her actions were reckless, but they were not done in malice. She didn't drink that morning and then think that, oh, I'm just going to go kill 2 state troopers and a civilian. So those charges were actually dismissed, but the prosecution ended up doing an appeal. The judge ended up reinstating those 3 homicide murder charges. At first, Janae did plead not guilty to the charges, but as some time went on, she actually ended up taking responsibility and pleading guilty to all the charges. She decided to do this, then go through trial. And since Janae decided to not do a trial and she was just going to take a plea deal and be sentenced, impact statements were made by family members. One that really stood out is Stephanie Mack's victim impact statement. Her husband was Trooper Martin F. Mack III. Stephanie Mack said, "She gets to see hers through a glass window during visitation. My children visit a tombstone." And that was very powerful when it came to sentencing Janae. There's one thing that's actually missing, because I remember when this case happened, there was a big thing that happened. While Janae was out on bond, she ended up getting pregnant. In November 2003, Janae pled guilty, but she asked the judge if she could have her baby first before going to prison. Judge Dermont sentenced her to 27 to 60 years in prison. Again, at sentencing, Janae was pregnant. She was actually about 7 months pregnant. And seeing that she was 7 months pregnant, the court actually allowed her to stay out of prison until her baby was born, but she had to be on house arrest. And once she gave birth, she would be escorted to prison. In 2024, Janae surrendered herself to prison, and now she is serving her sentence. Janae's attorney said like a little statement for her, saying that hopefully one day everybody will forgive her for this tragedy that she caused. There were no statements from any family members of the 3 men that lost their lives that day that said that they would forgive her. But now, remember, Janae had a baby, right? And recently, well, maybe not recently, but I was doing a little research on her and I found out some things about her baby. Not the name of the baby or anything, but there's actually something going on with the baby father. Yeah, and it involves the child. The father, Tahir Riley, in 2024, he was arrested for child abuse. Yeah, he was abusing the baby that Jayana Webb and him created. And at the time, Janae's baby that she had with Tahir, the baby suffered injuries consistent with abuse and head trauma. Investigators allege that the baby suffered from a fractured skull and bleeding to the brain. Tahir was charged with aggravated assault and child endangerment to his son. In 2025, the records show that he pled guilty to child endangerment and assault. Currently, we are not sure who has custody of Janae and Tahir's son, but I pray that he is healing and strong and better and just having an amazing life right now. To be born into tragedy and then have harm done to you is painful to think about, you know? So we are at the end of our case. I would like to give my little bit of opinions or whatever. Nothing against the families or anything, and especially not Janae. I'm not picking sides or anything, but I do feel as though, I don't know how to say it, but I just feel like some negligence happened that night when it came to Janae speeding on the highway, getting pulled over. I wonder, was she in and out of lanes? Was she swerving? Did they only pull over for speeding, or did they pull her over because they thought she was drunk and speeding? And if they thought she was drunk and speeding, I think they should have called Philadelphia PD for a little backup, maybe Philadelphia Highway Patrol. I think we have one of those. And just a little help could go a long way. To hear that y'all let her go and told her to go home, and not less than 5 minutes later, she slams into the 3 of y'all. I just feel like it could have been a little prevented. That's just my opinion. I wasn't there that night. I do think there was just a little bit of negligence. I think when they caught her speeding and probably assumed that she was drunk, I think they should have arrested her. I think they should have called Philly PD to come and get her. I'm not a police officer. I don't know the law of the land when it comes to how police officers rank things from priority, high priority, low priority. I will say somebody walking on a highway is a high priority. I guess they couldn't separate one, go handle one. situation, one stays back. But I don't know if somebody in the comments wants to, help me understand how it wasn't negligence or how, this could have been different. I'm down to have a conversation about like, what's going on, what's up. Because when this happened in Philly, mind you, this is Philly. I thought this just happened on I-95. This was in Philly, at the cusp of Philly, kind of. When this happened, I was like, what is going on? I couldn't believe that 2 state troopers actually left a woman that was speeding and drunk to go handle another call. But to now do some research and realize that they only thought she was speeding, it changes things a little bit. So, I'm just here to have a conversation with everybody and see where it goes. We do have a missing person of the week in Philly, and this week it is a young girl. Her name is Kha'Mani. She's 16 years old. She's 5 feet tall, and she's approximately 150 pounds. She was last seen in the West Philly area. She is missing right now. Please let's look out for her, and I will have in the description all of the information of where you can send some information to help find her, and also in the description I will have all the pictures that I have put in this video, and they will be on my Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So that is our missing person, and that is our case. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see everybody later. Bye.